Yo, what's going on, guys? And we are here with the Portland Trail Blazers offseason preview. Who's getting traded? Is it Jeremy Grant, which seems like the most obvious? Are they going to sell high on Drew Holiday? Or could it be either Scoot Henderson or Shaedon Sharpe? I want to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section. You can use hoopsmatic.com, HoopsType's new tool, which is kind of like Football Manager, but for basketball, by hitting the link in the description. Now let's get right into it, and let's talk about the Portland Trail Blazers, are one of those teams that are trying to figure out the next steps in their franchise. And we got to talk about Tom Dundon. This is a guy who was in predatory lending before he became the owner of the Hurricanes, which is an NHL team. And his whole thing is cost cutting and for $1 million salary. So we're just going to see how that all goes. I want to hear your thoughts down below. What do you guys think of Tom Dundon? There's two free agents that are unrestricted in Matisse Thybulle and Robert Williams that they have their bird rights, that they'll be able to go over the cap if they need to re-sign them, which I doubt they would need to go over the cap to re-sign them. And Blake Wesley will be an unrestricted free agent, and then their two-way player Caleb Love will be a restricted free agent, $1 million agent. Now, they are currently projected to be $52.7 million over the salary cap, and they'll be $16.7 million over the tax room, $8.7 million over the first apron. As I mentioned earlier, I expect this team to make a move. $34 million right there for Jeremy Grant. As you guys see, our estimated value for him should be 13.6. So if they can move that contract, that'd be huge for them. Drew Holiday's been solid for them. However, if they're looking to have Scoot Henderson and Damian Lillard be the future backcourt alongside Shaedon Sharpe and Vit Krejci, I could see them trying to find a contending team that wants a starting guard like a Drew Holiday. Now, let's go right and talk about any other players. Donovan Clingan made a huge jump. We all know Denny Avdia. Denny Avdia will be renegotiation and extension eligible, so that'll probably be what they'll do, is just renegotiate his contract because he's deserving of an upgrade. Besides that, Matisse Thybulle and Robert Williams can sign extensions through June 30th. So can Jeremy Grant starting July 9th. Chris Murray can sign a rookie extension, and July 12th, Vit Krejci can sign a 3-year max extension. This team was the 28th ranked three-point percentage. They need three-point shooting. And at the end of the playoffs, they were one of the worst, if not the worst, three-point shooting team in the playoffs. They control its own first-round pick in the next 7 seasons from 2027 onward, and they can trade up to 6 of those first rounders and also swap rights in 2 seasons. Portland also has 6 second-round picks available. So to me, I think there's still enough room for them to bring back Robert Williams and Matisse Thybulle using the non-taxpayer mid-level exception if they're able to put themselves in a situation like that. Now, let's go ahead, and I definitely think they're going to renounce the cap hold on Blake Wesley. I don't think they're going to hold that. We're going to go to the draft lottery, where this team has a, I think an interesting perception on what this year's draft could be for them. Should they be caring to bring a young guy in? Should they be looking to make the jump? And I mentioned it earlier, Jeremy Grant is somebody that they should probably try to move. And with the salaries of next year, a lot of the, obviously the rebuilding teams and the Wizards, as well as the Grizzlies, the Nets, all could be suitors that you could try to dump Jeremy Grant on. And that's something that we'll look into on draft night, because I think it is warrant talking about that. So we're just going to go right here. This is the draft. If you guys didn't know how this works, again, you guys can go in the link in the description. We have in this draft no picks. So this is a team that they could end up using a draft pick in the future to trade into this draft or to trade Jeremy Grant with. And to me, I think that's actually like probably one of, if not the better ideas if they want to get somebody in the back end. So if they want like Dalen Swain or an Alan Graves or a Bennett Sturts for some reason, I think trading back in would be the right move. So looking at pre-free agency, what players they'll have, as you guys see, they have cap holds on Matisse Thybulle and Robert Williams, which is fine, but they're not going to be worth that much. I would seriously doubt that they bring back those players. So at that salary. So using Mr. Matisse Thybulle, he is an estimated value of a minimum contract. So you could sign him to probably a partially guaranteed or a non-guaranteed 1-year deal. Maybe you could argue that he gets a fully guaranteed deal because another team could have interest in him. Now, looking at Robert Williams, he is an estimated 5.4. Now, looking at Contavious Caldwell-Pope to be a reserve 3-and-D guy for you, it's actually decent value in that sense. Now, going into training camp, if you look at the current team, I think we see that we have our two-ways in Jason Ken, Chris Youngblood, and Caleb Love. Sidi Sissoko, Blake Wesley, and Vit Krejci are all on non-guaranteed deals. And currently, because on our roster, we will have to make decisions. Right now, we have 18 standard contracts. So, as I said, we have multiple players that can be waived without incurring a cap hit. Blake Wesley, Sidi Sissoko being the other one. And I would look for a suitor for Vit Krejci, but if you can't find one, you'd waive him, and you'd end up with, and again, this allows you to rationalize bringing in Contavious Caldwell-Pope, regardless if you think he was worth it or not. It gives you depth at that position, and we don't know how helpful Yang Hansen will be. So now you have Klingon, Robert Williams, Brandon Clark, Yang Hansen in your front court, Denny Avdia, Tamani Kamara, Shaden Sharp, and Damian Lillard. You still have Scoot Henderson, Drew Holiday, Matisse Thybulle. Like, you have a decent like bench. Like, this isn't bad right here. This 10-man rotation that you see of Robert Williams, Contavious Caldwell-Pope, Matisse Thybulle, Drew Holiday, Scoot Henderson, which those 5 guys off your bench, and you still have Yang Hansen and Brandon Clark. You now have like at least 10 NBA players. So I do like that move. I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below if you made it to the end of the video. What did you guys think? And if you guys agree that I think this is a decent team. Like, it's not too preposterous. Let's see how this image looks. Yeah, I like it. Let me know down below if you guys did too. Till next time, guys. Peace out. Bye-bye, everybody.